And now it all comes down to this. With 2 points for book, and 2 points for movie, we come to the ultimate showdown as we match story against story. Who will emerge triumphant? Who will sweep the floor with his opponent and be the superior story? The victor! Oh, would you knock it off? Sorry, here's the story. Now, we've already talked about a lot of the major aspects of the story in the other categories, but when you look at the story itself, you'll find that both book and movie did a really good job of telling their own version. Now, the movie did cut a lot out, and it did simplify the story, but to be fair, that's what you have to do when you're making a book like this into a movie, and the movie really did a good job of streamlining everything. Claire's constant waiting, Henry's coming and going, and the messages of love, destiny, and power over death are still present in this version of the story. As a movie, it works, and it tells its story well. But, let's be honest, this is my favorite book of all time, and it isn't my favorite movie of all time. And the reasons why this is true are exactly what I just said. Even though I understand why they did what they did with the story, and even though the movie still mostly makes sense, I still just like the book version better. First of all, the movie didn't spend nearly as much time with the characters as kids. We see Claire's childhood a couple of times, but we really don't get a chance to see that childhood relationship develop. Though the movie did include one scene that the book didn't, which is Henry's first time traveling back to Claire's childhood from Henry's point of view. We never actually saw that in the book, we just heard about it, and it does actually make sense that it would happen right after they were married, and I'm glad that the movie included it. But another aspect of the story that the movie missed out on was the number of times that Henry encountered himself in time. Some of my favorite scenes in the book is when 20-something-year-old Henry is teaching the child Henry how to survive as a time traveler. And we see that, for as selfish and vulgar as Henry can sometimes be, he's really good with kids. I mean, we see him with himself younger, we see him with Claire younger, and we see him with his daughter. There are also a couple of instances of crossover between young Henry and older Henry. Like I said before, Claire has to deal with the younger, more selfish Henry, and it is the older, wiser Henry who comes and convinces Claire to bear with it. There are also a lot of scenes with older Henry berating younger Henry for something, even if he's just a few days older, and I think that's something that we've all wanted to do. We don't see as many of these crossovers in the movie. In fact, I don't really think we see any. I mean, come on guys, it's just a split screen, I do that all the time. And, I've said this a lot during this review, it adds a whole new dimension to the story as we see that Henry is Henry, no matter how old he is, and Claire is Claire, no matter how old she is. They exist eternally in time, which makes both the message of destiny and the message of power over death that much stronger. So even though the movie did a really great job of adapting the story to film, the book just had more time to really develop the relationship and send the message that it wanted to send. So, it should probably not come as a surprise to anyone that the superior story really is in the book. So, now we're tied. Yeah. 3 books, 3 movies. What do we do now? Well, I mean, obviously we need a tiebreaker. Something that'll really be a big decider, at least for the time being. Something big, something hard to decide. Do you know of any stories like that? Why yes, Matt. I know of a tale. A tale so daring in its telling that it will cause the mighty forces of literature and cinema to meet once again on the field of battle. For this is no ordinary story. Nay, this story has become a favorite not only in its literary incarnation, but its cinematic one as well. And further, both book and movie are remembered as classics, the finest of their kind. When next we meet, Matt, when next we meet, our forces will clash over one of the greatest stories ever told! Is he gonna tell me what it is, or...? Oh, sorry, To Kill a Mockingbird, Harper Lee. Thank you. Jeez. Call me hammy. Hey, at least this one will actually be something of a battle. Stay tuned, folks. This is the big one. One of them.